Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to my Positivity Pass It On channel. I'm your host, Priscilla Subramaniam, and I'm so grateful to be sharing my morning with my guest today. My Word of Mouth Wednesday guest is Dr. Jairo Borja. Dr. Borja, thank you so much for joining us today from New Jersey.
Anytime. Yeah, that's right. Jersey. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I want to start out by giving a little plug to Prospanica because that's actually how we met in person. So thank you, Prospanica, for the face-to-face connection. We met at the
that's right.
We met at the 2018 Prospanica conference in Milwaukee, and I really remember you well because we were both working in higher education at the time. And I just remember us waiting for the proclamation for Prospanica Day. And that was a really cool experience. And I turned to you and we just started talking. And so that was really awesome. So I always say that it's really important that when you meet somebody, you never know what kind of garden you've planted when you meet somebody. So can you imagine that, like, we met in 2018 and then like here we are in 2020. So I always say when you make connections face to face, they're very valuable. And I know you're going to talk about that later on in the conversation when we talk about your book. So I'm really excited to dive into that.
Thank you. Absolutely.
So we'll go ahead and get started here. So my first question to you, Dr. Borja, is as a coach and speaker, how can we encourage the class of 2020 to remain resilient and optimistic during these unprecedented times?
Sure. No, so I know there's unprecedented times. First of all, congratulations to all the graduates, regardless of what level whether it's you graduated associates, your bachelor's, your master's, or even doctorate. So congratulations, or even high school for that matter. Congratulations to everyone. Big shout out to everyone who completed commencement. What I would say is just stay positive, of course. Just as I've been presenting on networking virtually, just keep joining the alumni groups on LinkedIn, for example. Join the conversations, connect with alum that way, and you never know what alum can connect you to certain jobs. For example, I'll give you a quick tip for those in the job market. You can always apply for a position on LinkedIn. You could check who's connected, and if, let's say, one of your connections is familiar with the recruiter, you could ask for some type of introduction. And this way, it's not guaranteed a job, but at least guaranteed that your name, at least they're aware of your name. So definitely leverage your alumni network. Join the various on LinkedIn groups related to your major, related to your industry. I think that's great to join the conversation there. And of course, do a lot of different things such as this, participate in different webinars, different types of blogs, different types of events virtually. I think for the foreseeing future, at least for the 2020 or most of 2020, everything is virtual. So with that being said, just be mindful of the different events that are going on virtually and connect with individuals that way. So for sure, that's how you stay positive. That's how you stay afloat.
Yep, that's really very, very great. I couldn't agree with you more. I think that even though we have had to stay at home to stay safe, I think that this has really been an opportunity for technology to shine and to use technology in a way that is progressive and for us to find new solutions. So that has probably been one of the biggest eye-opening messages for me, and finding purpose throughout the pandemic and just 2020 in general. 2020 in general has definitely been a year where it's taken us out of our comfort zone. But if you choose to see that as an opportunity, you can definitely advance. And I think that's really important. So thank you for that. So I want to go ahead and make sure that I give a formal introduction. So Dr. Borja is president of Borja Consulting Group. Dr. Borja is also
Yes,
a
thank you.
speaker, coach, consultant, and just
Hmm.
recently became
Yeah.
a best-selling author. So we'd love to hear
Yes, thank you.
more.
Thank
Tell
you.
us more about your small business, Borja Consulting Group.
Sure. Sure. So at Borja Consulting Group, I started it while employed at my previous employer on the side as a side hustle. So what I do was, or what I still do, I connect with small businesses and I help them when it comes to small business planning, and implementation. So what does that mean? So for example, someone comes to me, I want to start a business. So we'll brainstorm as far as what type of business, what are the pain points. Then I'll help them as far as putting together the business plan or at least provide the template. And then from there, I'll make sure that's okay, any grammatical errors, whatever, whatnot. And then I'll help them at least point them in the right direction as far as being able, whether it's getting SBA funding or private funding or venture capitalists, help them out when it comes to that. And then any help with implementation, which includes like the marketing plan or the business plan, or even the financial consulting. Where, and I'll tell you why I do something else that comes in. So a lot of people want to start retirement plans for their folks. They want to start benefits, health benefits, which includes a group life, health, disability. So what I did was I partnered with a company, Primary Financial, as of May last year, now a year, and now I'm kind of like a financial services professional. So I become a one-stop shop. So I help families and businesses with full-fledged the small business planning. So when someone comes to me and say, "Hey, I'm a small business," yeah, I'll get them started, and on top of that, I'll keep them afloat by ensuring that they have their proper things in place, whether it's a set plan, whether it's a profit sharing plan, whatever it suits their budget and suits their goals. I kind of help them when it comes to that. So that's why I'm kind of both. Uh, have my own company where I help small businesses, and I'm allowed the being the financial professional allows me to shop around and provide them with different financial products and help marry the two together. So that's my business. And then the speaking business aspect of it is what I really wanted to do this year, and of course that's going to be postponed now. Was used being able to speak around the country, and then I've gotten paid here and there. Obviously, not where I need to be right now, but basically, my goal is to go around the country, go to the different ERG different organizations, and do just, training on sales, training on networking, and really leverage my book, Networking Way to Success. So I know it's a lot, but hopefully that was good.
That is very, very cool. So I know you are based out of New Jersey. So I think the nice thing,
Yep.
though, is the opportunity that presents itself is while you are based in New Jersey, you could really be helping small businesses across the country. And so I see that as a really big opportunity for you as well.
That is correct. That is correct. When I first started my business, I was confined to just New Jersey, or I guess our perception pre-COVID was, hey, just New York, New Jersey. But now with everyone having to pivot, I think actually now it's been better than ever. I'm doing interviews. I'm doing using platforms like this, and yeah, you're right. I could do business with someone in California or Kansas City or Florida. With the assistance of us when it comes to that, for sure.
Well, that is definitely good to know because I actually started these word of mouth Wednesdays because I really want to be a source of optimism during these difficult times. And so I'm really looking
Yeah.
to help small businesses. So now that I know that you are able to kind of help anybody, then you are
Yeah.
going to be top of mind when I know
There you
somebody
go.
wants to start a business. So
Yeah.
this is
Good.
perfect. So I'm really, really glad to hear about that. So as I had mentioned earlier, you became a international best-selling author, and the title
Thank
of
you.
your book is Networking Your Way to Success. So can you share a
Yeah.
little bit about your book?
Sure. So I wrote it last year or throughout the summer, and then I finally published it towards the end of the year. Networking Way to Success: 10 tips for and working professionals. What it is basically a very quick read, less than 2 hours, or it's basically a how-to guide of how to network on site. Of course, this was pre-COVID, but it's definitely a lot of the principles remain the same. I'll give you one tip, which is when you're at an event, you'll be able to connect with individuals online you've seen the form method, but I added the EA at the end using the Formea method. So when you connect someone like a Priscilla, like say we're in an event, a lot of people have trouble getting engaged as far as having a conversation. But if you think of these acronyms, you could connect with individuals in the following ways. F for family. Maybe we have common ground, both married, both kids. So that's a common establishing a common ground. O stands for occupation. Maybe you and I are in the same industry. So it happens to be that you and I both have family and occupation, right? Recreation is for R. Maybe you and I both like CrossFit, like the gym, like martial arts. So that's that common ground there. M is motivation. So it could be different things, right? It could be money, it could be fame, it could be helping people, whatever the case may be. You could kind of figure that out. That one's a little bit challenging. E for education. You're educated, I'm educated, so we have that common ground there. And A stands for achievement. There you go. Maybe you completed an MBA, I completed an MBA, so we're able to establish a common ground there. So establishing that common ground using that formula is making it a lot easier for you to start a conversation. Because people think, oh, I don't know, how should I start a conversation? But if you kind of like have that in the back of your mind, along with your elevator pitch, I think you'll be okay. So those are one of several tips that I provide throughout the book, and I interview 4 great people. And Beth, of course, as you mentioned earlier, Beth Mormalejos is the president of the New Jersey chapter. And then I interviewed Jocelyn Russo, who's a big-time real estate agent here in New Jersey. Vanessa Rodriguez is she owns her own consulting company, VGR Enterprises, and she does a lot on IG Lives, and she's a Queens girl, so shout out to Queens. And then the last person that I interviewed is Luis de la Hoz, which is a major player here in the state of New Jersey. He's the chairman of the statewide Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and he's also the vice president for business development for BCB Bank, and I consider him a master networker. He's part of BNI. He's a president of one of the chapters in BNI, and he said that somehow he's achieved over I think millions in revenue through, or for the bank, of course, in revenue through the bank and through his networking. So I have 4 great interviews, and I think it's a great quick read and a great opportunity during this pandemic to self-develop and self-improve for sure.
Definitely. What I have noticed is when I was in higher education for almost 4 years, I had, work study students in the marketing and communications office. And I just kind of noticed that the students kind of would have trouble feeling like they couldn't engage or just strike up a conversation. And by no means am I taking a dig at social media, but I do think that face-to-face has become difficult for millennials to overcome. And I think that that's why your book is so valuable, because, trying to get past those nerves and feeling like, okay, well, I saw you on social media on the reel, so I call it the REEL, but now I'm seeing you in the REAL. And so how do we engage in that way? So I think that your book is very relevant and very important. So I'm just really happy that you were able to gather those interviews and have such great information to present in your book. So how can people purchase your book, Networking Your Way to Success?
Sure. So they could go on Amazon. You could look it up in the search box, Networking Your Way to Success by Jairo Borja. I also have a website devoted to it. It's called networkingyourwaytosuccess.com. You could purchase it right then and there, the ebook, or it'll take you to the Amazon link to purchase the paperback copy. So for sure, that's how they could purchase the book. So
Perfect.
Please support.
Awesome. Very good. I love it. So with that, how can our audience stay connected with you through your website and social media channels?
Sure. So you could follow me on Instagram at Borja Consulting Group. You could follow me via Twitter at Borja Consulting. You could follow me on Facebook. I have either you could tag the personal. You could look up my name, or I have a business page, Jairo Borja DBA, and I think the last one is LinkedIn. You could just look me up on LinkedIn. You could look up the organization, Borja Consulting Group, or you could tag me and find me, Dr. Jairo Borja. I'm more than happy to connect with anyone and help anyone. So for sure.
Great. Well, I want to thank you so much, Dr. Borja, for sharing part of your Wednesday with me and talking about your small business and how you help others. You really
Thank you.
inspire me. I mean, we met in
Thank you.
2018, but you are just so committed to
Thank
the
you.
community through
Thank you.
Prospanica. And I
Yeah.
just really applaud you for
Thank
the
you.
leadership that you bring about in your community. And, you're inspiring me. You're in New Jersey, but you're inspiring me in Kansas City. And then
Thank
I'm
you.
taking that out into my community. So
Thank you so much.
I'm very thrilled to call you, to call you a colleague.
Thank
And
you.
just very,
I mean,
yeah, I just feel very honored to know you.
thank you. Thank you. I
So
know just one cheap plug.
go
Prospect
for
New
it.
Jersey has an event. We have an event, How To's, is when it comes to networking. We have a great panel, including myself, Jacqueline Ruiz Camacho, Veronica Sosa, Rod Colon, and moderated by Clarissa Bello. It's a great webinar. It's free. It's next Thursday, June 25th. It's going to be from 12 to 1. Just look it up on my page and you'll see it. I'll post it. I'll repost it later. So please join. You'll learn some great tips on networking, not just from me, but you'll learn other perspectives as well. So thank you. I had to do that cheap plug.
No. That's why we're here. And there's no such
Right.
thing as a cheap plug because we're small businesses. So we need
That's
to
true. That's true. That's true.
speak up and share our voices because
That's true.
that's how we're going to make it to the other side of 2020.
Exactly. I appreciate your time. Thank you, everybody. Stay
Absolutely.
positive. Stay strong.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for joining us today. And if you'd like to have a conversation with me on an upcoming Word of Mouth Wednesday, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter at Sophie_class. That's SOPHI_CLASS. Or feel free to send me a private message on LinkedIn. So thank you, everybody. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thanks, everyone.
I got a picture. Wait. How do I do it? I don't want to show my phone. Hold on. We'll do that. 3, 2, 1. There you go. All righty. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks so much. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.